I liked it.
Okay.
I liked Wicked for Good.
Okay.
I just think that the first one was too good. I thought the first one was too good that now I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm spoiled. I feel like I'm like, okay, songs were good. Sets obviously were good, but it's not Wicked 1. It's not to me. But I still liked the movie. And I liked also the like fan reactions inside the theater or my theater. Did you have any fan reactions?
No, my
inside
theater
yours?
was pretty dead, which I was
Wow.
fairly happy with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to just be in the moment. You know, I don't need
Oh.
people screaming and singing while I'm trying to watch a musical.
Okay,
Like,
not like that.
but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like cool MCU movie, a pop up. It's like, yay. But if I'm watching Wicked and someone starts singing while I'm watching, I'm like, dude, I didn't pay to hear you sing. I'm paying to hear them sing, you know?
I mean, that's for the sing-along people.
Yeah.
That's for the sing-along people.
Could
When the
never.
Wicked for Good sing-along comes out, go watch it and
No,
see
no, no,
it.
no, no. I won't go. I will not go watch a sing.
I know you're not gonna go watch it.
I think I'd be frustrated the whole time. I'd be like, dude, y'all cannot sing. Like, shut up, please.
Nah, like I don't know. I don't know how I'd be in that sing along because I feel like the reactions would be cool of people like, you know, dancing around doing whatever. It probably would bug me a little bit, but at the same time, I made the decision to go to the stinking sing along, Wicked
That's
for
true.
Good sing along.
Can't complain when you paid for it.
Exactly.
I like what you said that you got spoiled by the first one. So what's your number score? You said 7.
For Wicked for Good, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
All right. I'm conflicted. Okay. I actually think this one is very much in line with how I felt about the first one. I think it's great. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm very pacing illiterate, where like I don't pick up on if a movie has bad pacing.
Yeah.
I've probably said on this podcast that I think a movie has bad pacing, and that could be wrong or the right thing. If I'm being honest with you, it's always a vibe thing. And to me, the pacing of this one felt nearly identical to the first one, where I'm like, oh, the first hour feels kind of long, and then the last hour is just like, oh my gosh, like holy crap,
That
this
was
is insane.
fast.
And they movies just feel, excuse me, I spit. The movies feel exactly the same in that sense. I think the one place where this movie is worse is the music. I think the music isn't as good, but there are a couple bangers in this movie that are just
There
like,
are a
oh
couple.
my gosh. The
There
last
are.
song they sing, For Good, is gas. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I told myself I was going to pull up the list on my phone and I didn't. There was a
you had,
couple
like-
other ones that I thought were like, oh my gosh. I was talking about it with a friend who's really into theater. So he texted me. He was like, oh, what'd you think about it? I loved No Good Deed. Great song. That was a banger. For Good was a banger. And then, man, the song that she sings to the animals, which is an original song, I
Yeah.
also liked until the lion ruins it. But yeah, I thought
Cowardly Lion.
I thought the movie had some great music stuff, but I don't think it was as consistent as the first one. Where the first one, every time they sang, I was like, oh yeah, like this is so sick. The second one, I was like, and then I was like, dude, holy crap. But dude, the story was great, man. I don't know. I know people say the play falls off in the latter half, and I don't know. I didn't feel that. I didn't really feel that at all, actually. I thought it picked up in the right ways. I think it was hitting all the marks it needed to. I think the one place it felt a little rushed was, spoilers for Wicked, was the wizard leaving. I felt that was like, I understand like he felt a lot of guilt for what he did, but I was just like, oh dude, like I felt like there could have been a little more there. He saw a thing, was like, what have I done? Okay, I'm leaving. And then left. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay, that's it. But all in all, dude, I don't know. I had a really good time in the theater, and I loved it. I was in it for the magic, bro.
I still had a really good time watching it. It's just that, like, especially the fan reaction. Like, I said it before, and I'm going to talk about the exact fan reactions because I think it was pretty interesting, especially the way people responded to a certain thing. But it's just that I kind of want to disagree on the pacing type of thing because with Wicked 1, I think that we had more moments, or at least I had more moments of, like, staying in certain situations. Like, for example, Elphaba first getting there. The atmosphere of like everybody seeing her and everybody just looking at her with disgust was like nuts to me. It was like, bro, I know it's because she got green skin, but also y'all racist. Like that's what it kind of felt like. And then even them going up the stairs and having the ceremony, it feels like I'm still there. It feels like I'm going from like a certain thing to a certain thing, going from the ceremony to Elphaba unlocking your magic power, like having that magic power moment. Then it goes from that to her going up into the dean's office and they're talking about special lessons. And then it goes to, it just always felt like I'm going to something and it like it's one by one by one. With Wicked for Good, I felt like, okay, like the song's going on with the animals right now. Now we're going to travel all the way across and we're going to talk about Fiyero and his mission to stop the witch. Now we're going to travel all the way back over here. And it felt
You're
like
pulled in too many directions.
Yeah, it felt like I was pulled in too many directions, which isn't like totally bad. It's just that I like the flow more of the first Wicked.
I think you're right.
I still enjoyed it though.
No,
it's
I think
just
that's
that,
true, yes.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's because they were in one place.
I felt like, yeah, exactly. Where
Yeah,
like
the
the
school.
first one is smaller scale and
Yeah.
the second one is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I just felt like all those things were just as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't like bugged that I was getting pulled in so many directions.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the stuff with the animals, I'm like, oh, like this is awesome. Also Fear, I was like, oh dude, like I'm so curious with him and Glinda's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then all the stuff with like, I don't know, I just every direction that the movie was pulling me, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm in on this,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I think it's just like that has so much to be said about like the world, I think. It's just so interesting.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see so much of it. I swear this is I just need to bring up video games any chance I can. Like I need a video game in this world so badly, and there is one being made, and I'm
For Wicked?
yes, I'm very excited about it.
What?
Well, they like tease it at the end of one game, and it's weird. I'll spoil it here. I'll say it just so this makes sense. Spoilers for the video game Lies of P, if I haven't already spoiled it. At the end of the game, it's basically a Dark Souls version of Pinocchio, where the game is very dark, but it's very difficult and it's awesome. But you play as Pinocchio. At the end, a character mentions Dorothy, and they're saying, "Hey, like we have to figure out what's going on over there." So they're gonna make a Dark Souls style game, one of my favorite game genres ever, in the world of Wicked. So it's gonna be all gross and nasty. And
That is
crazy. And I'm like, that is genius.
That's gonna be scary, bro.
So that's what I'm saying is I think the world is so awesome where it could cut to any character and I'm just like, oh, I'm in. Like I'm so interested in what's going on here. It kind of feels like Star Wars in that sense in a weird way, where like Star Wars can pull me in so many directions. Whether they're talking about politics or I'm watching a lightsaber fight, I'm like just as interested.
But it just, maybe it's also because the way like Dorothy, and I know she's not the main thing with this, but it felt awkward at times, like of not, because I grew up, watched The Wizard of Oz, watched the Wicked play, watched a couple of things, but I'm used to seeing Dorothy, I'm used to seeing the Cowboy Line, everybody, I know we do, but it was kind of weird just seeing like a Dorothy double or something just walk away and it still just be there. And I know that's part of the play. I'm not trying to say that's John M. Chu. Like I'm not trying to put it on him at all. I'm just saying like it just felt awkward.
Like you think it didn't need to be incorporated, or you wish that we leaned into it more?
Leaned into it more. Just not like crazy more where it's like, oh, a 30-hour movie or 3-hour movie. Sorry. It's just that I felt like maybe just a little bit more, especially of them meeting together. Like I felt like Dorothy, when she goes off on her journey, we don't see anything about her meeting up with Fiyero Scarecrow. We don't see anything with her meeting up with Box Tin Man. And then we don't see anything with her meeting up with the Cowardly Lion. It's just, she goes off on her journey. Then all four of them are there with the wizard talking. And the wizard tells them, get me the witch's broom. And then they go outside, and that's when we see, oh, she's with the Tin Man that we saw earlier. Oh, we didn't see the Scarecrow again until later, but we see the Cowardly Lions there. And then it's just like, okay, like what I was describing to a friend earlier. It felt like they saw a sign that said, you want to do something great in Oz? Come over and talk to me, the wizard. And then it was just like, all right, need y'all to get the witch's broom. And then they were just out there. It didn't feel like, I didn't feel any connection there. I didn't feel like what I felt in The Wizard of Oz, where it's like she goes on her journey, she meets these characters, and then it's like a really fun journey. It's quick.
I disagree though, because I don't think the movie is trying to tell Dorothy's story.
I understand. I think
it's about the witch. It's about Glinda. It's about Alphabet. So I don't think you need to have like the Dorothy Wizard of Oz connection sort of being like pushed onto you, because most people know how that goes.
I mean, yes, in a way, but at the same time, like I still feel like I needed some of that. Not the whole movie or like a whole 30-minute like section of Dorothy finding these people. It's just I needed something quick where it's like maybe just a scene of them. If she went by and already grabbed them, maybe just them walking or exploring Oz, and then just one song, and then maybe just even them talking about like the witch, and then the Tin Man's probably going off on, she turned me into this, and then the Scarecrow's probably like, or Fiero's Scarecrow is like, yeah, but she's not all bad. And then, like, you know, they're just having their differences. The Cowardly Lion and Tin Man's going in. Dorothy and the Scarecrow probably have their own thing where it's like, she may not be bad, but our mission is to get the, like, I wish we had that type of moment.
What does
just for
that
a second.
add? What does that add? Because we already know how those characters feel because we have that, like, we know how the Tin Man feels, and he's not going to change. Like, we know how the Tin Man feels. We know how the Scarecrow feels already. But, you know, like it's, you don't need the Wizard of Oz plotline. Like, you don't need a connection to Dorothy because it's not about her.
But I feel like the difference, too, is in the Wizard of Oz, like, Tin Man was way angrier than I remember, because I remember in The Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow were scared as heck of the witch. In this one, I'm not saying it's bad that Bach was like really like, let's get her, but I really would have loved to see a little bit more of like him around that group talking about why he's so angry, and then them seeing their reactions to it.
But you already know why he's so angry.
Well,
so
we know that, but I want to see their reactions a little bit more.
I don't know. I just
a
don't think
little bit more.
I don't think that adds a whole lot because it's.
I feel like it does though.
Really? Because like you know how he's gonna react. So what would you seeing him tell other people that?
We would see something about Dorothy and Fiero's Scarecrow character a little bit more.
But you already know how Fiero feels too. So you can already put in those like pieces of like, oh, I know how they'll respond to like what he's saying.
I understand that, but I still feel like I'm just trying to compare it to Wicked 1. Like, we get a lot of all these various different characters, like feelings, personalities in that first movie, which I feel like is great because obviously it's mainly about Elphaba, Glinda, and Fiero. But then also a lot of the other sub characters, we understand a lot about them. We understand their feelings. We can see it. With this in Wicked for Good, I feel like we know Elphaba, we know Fiero, we know Glinda, we know Bach, who is now the Tin Man, but we don't get as much from these other different characters around.
I'm trying to remember the other characters from part 1 like that. I don't remember. I remember them.
I know at the start of the movie when Glinda's like dancing and going to her office or penthouse or whatever, we see her her two friends from school there, and they have their moment. But then we don't see them again, and I kind of wish we had more of that.
But they felt like more like side, like
I liked them.
I liked them too. They were
wish
funny.
I saw more.
The thing is, they were funny. I didn't think I needed a lot from them though.
I know
they served their purpose and then moved on.
But that's what I mean. Like I did not hate this movie. I still liked it. I just wish that I just feel like obviously to me Wicked was the better movie.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, I think that's important. I agree with that.
I just wish there was just a little bit more, a little bit, like maybe like 10 extra minutes.
Yeah, I definitely think Wicked 1 is better, but I wasn't as obsessed with Wicked as everyone else was. So I didn't have that like what you said, like, oh, I felt spoiled. For me, I felt like, oh, I got exactly what I wanted. Like I was like, oh, this is like exactly what it needed to be, you know? And I don't really want much else. I didn't need for it to like go in so many different directions. But it did, and when it did, I was like, oh, I'm really captivated by what's going on in this world. But I didn't need more of it. I didn't need the Wizard of Oz to be fully explored. I didn't need like some side characters from the first one to be explored because they weren't as interesting. They were funny, but they weren't as interesting.
Yeah.
What they did with Bach in that scene was incredible. And I actually thought it was super strong, and I was very scared. It was sick. I will say though, and I need to know if the play plays out like this, and I think it is true. And spoilers for Wicked again. I know we've been spoiling it this whole time, but the scene of Elphaba's sister dying.
Yeah.
Sue me, was a little funny. Come on, a house falls on her. That's insane. And that took me out a little bit. Where I was like, man, if she just got killed by the tornado, I would have been like, damn, like that's super unfortunate. But when a house fell on her, I was like,
you talking about Nessa?
Oh, that's so sad.
And you were laughing about Nessa's death.
I wasn't laughing. How
dare you?
I was like, oh, that's so sad. Like, damn, poor Elphaba. These people suck. But come on, it's a little funny. Like, come on, it's a little silly, you know? Like, that's a little...
I was sad when that happened. Dude, a little bit, though, because then again, what she did with the Munchkins, I was kind of pissed about.
Dude, a house fell on her. That's insane.
I mean, that's what happened in The Wizard of Oz. Like,
but that's just insane. Like, that's crazy. You know, like, that shouldn't, like...
Before we continue, have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
Never.
Okay.
I know the story, but, like, dude, that's crazy.
Masterpiece. One of the masterpieces.
Yeah. You think they'll remake it?
I think they have. I think there was like The Wonderful Oz or something.
Like kind of.
I never got to watch it.
Do you think they'll do like an authentic, let's just do a retake of The Wizard of Oz?
I think they're good, especially since, did you see the news today? Mm-mm. So they're now talking about expanding the Wicked universe. There are plans are being made for future movies in the Wicked universe.
So there is a sequel to Wicked. Mm-hmm. There is a Wicked 2, which I didn't know. My friend told me that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, they're really dark. Like the other books that are insanely dark. So are they talking about doing like an original thing or just expanding off what the books did?
It could be both, but it could be the books.
When people say, you know what's bad for me is like I'm all for original ideas, but when people say original ideas in the world of, I'm always like skeptical. I'm like, do you know what you're doing though? Like, do you actually have an idea?
Hey, I'm just saying there are plans for future installments, but it could be anything. Yeah. It could be their own take on it. It could be a continuation of the books, or it could be what you're talking about, a sequel to Wicked. Yeah. But I'm not totally sure. I am excited that they are trying to expand it, because that ending, I was kind of curious on what outside of Oz looks like. But I am happy with the movie. Mm-hmm. I am. One thing I do want to talk about, though, even though I was happy with the movie, a lot of other fans in my theater were happy, and they had a lot of reactions that I wanted to talk about. So remember the fight between Galinda and Elphaba? People were roaring in my theater when they slapped each other. They were roaring, and it was funny. When they actually started fighting, and Elphaba was like doing flips around or up over Galinda, and then she did her laugh, and she was like, "Where'd you get that from?" That was a really fun experience because people were rolling in their seats when that happened. One fan reaction that rubbed off everyone wrong in the theater. So you know how the scene pops up where at the end, Elphaba is going to melt.
Oh, yeah.
When she starts melting and Dorothy grabs the broom and lifts it up, it's silent in the theater. Like, there are people crying. And then this one guy in the theater just goes, "Oh my gosh!" Everybody, like, at first I was like, why are you clapping? In my head, I'm like, why are you clapping? And then everybody in the theater had my same reaction, but everybody looked at him, like, looked in his direction. And the woman next to me was like, "The hell is your problem?" And I went,
yeah, see, dude, it's the kind of theater moments where I'm like, man, I actually would rather people don't say anything in a theater.
No. I love when stuff like that happens, though. I love it.
I like when people laugh. I'm like with like the whole like, yeah, that was funny. You know. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I like things like that. I'm like, you're lame.
I like reactions, but since, you know, me being Team Elphaba, when he was like, you know, like celebrating when the op grabbed the broom, I was like, come on, bro. That
like, you're so lame. But like, did he think it was funny? Like, he was like,
I think he was. A part of me was feeling like he was celebrating Dorothy, like grabbing the broomstick.
Like, that's a reference to the Wizard of Oz.
And I was kind of like, bro, what if we learned this whole movie? In my opinion, I was kind of like, bro.
He's probably trying to be funny. Like, he's definitely just trying to be funny.
I don't know if he was. I feel like he was into the whole movie, and that was the one time he was actually like really excited. The one time. I don't think he was trying to be funny, because if he was, he would have said something like.
I think about theater moments like that, and then I think of like my Deadpool 3 experience, where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I would rather people not say anything, because there's always that like, oh, I think we should clap at this. So yeah, let's clap, and then it's all awkward. It felt like that the whole time. So I'm just like, you know, I'd rather just cheer quietly in my seat. Or like when I watched No Way Home, and I was the only person in my theater that knew it was Daredevil, and I was like, oh, that's Daredevil, and no one reacted, and I was like.
That was me with a lot of scenes in Spider-Man No Way Home. But my thing with it is I think reactions are perfect. Like, I love when there are reactions. That just shows people are passionate. I kind of think it's weird when, like, people are quiet at certain times in theaters. Like, you know, the chuckling, that's different. Like, I love it when there's, like, a moment where somebody's, like, freaking out about something that's actually happening, because I feel like that just gives you life in the theater. Mm-hmm. Like, I know with a lot of people, and I mean, it's probably just me, like, who just loves reactions, but there's probably people who just love to sit there and, like, be in silence and just watch a thing, which isn't a bad thing at all, but I really do love it when I hear some type of reaction. I love it if somebody stands up and just goes, yes! Or I love it when somebody is just, like, crying. Like, because I think that really does give life there.
I agree to that to a degree. Mm-hmm. Like, I think about like horror movies where I like when my theater's like, oh my gosh. This is gonna sound bad to me. I just feel like Wicked is not a movie where I'm like, I need people to be reacting right now. Like to me, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Like, calm down.
All right,
and I can't say that. I can't speak.
No,
on it. I know people care. I know people care a lot. I'm just like, dude, like that scene with, I would have been mad. I would have been that lady. I'm like, what are you freaking?
We all looked at him. We like at first we're looking at that screen
like
and I'm just like this. I'm like, oh man. But then right when I heard the clapping, I went.
Like the scene when they're fighting is funny. Yeah, like laugh. I laughed. There's other things though where I'm like, if people are freaking out during moments, I'm like, all right, you're taking me out of it. Like, can you calm down, please? You know?
Well, how did you react? I just want to know, how did you react in the first Wicked movie with some, like, did you have any reactions at all that were like?
I laughed. I got into it. But I just don't emote in that way. I'm not like I'm not someone who freaks out fairly often when I watch things. It's very like, but also there's very few things like Marvel movies I'm there for. Like superhero movies, I'm like, yeah, like I get excited, but I'm quiet. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'll hit the person I'm sitting next to. That's about it. I'm not like unless I know the vibe I'm going into is okay. People are gonna be cheering. Yeah, I'll cheer. But like Wicked, I'm going in with the expectation that like I want to watch and have just a good time. I want to like watch a good movie. I don't really need people screaming over nothing, you know. And look, back to the movie. This movie I think has a lot of like insane moments. Yeah. Again, the scene "No Good Deed" when she's singing that song, and it's just so well shot. You have like the red lightning sky and her like with all the monkeys and the torches. It's such a well done scene, and it's things like that where I'm like, yeah, any like bad part of this movie is then won back by like that scene and then the final song they sing and just some of the character moments with them, and I felt it and I was like, man, I'm in this and I really like this movie. And I don't think I had the same love for Wicked as everyone else did. I scored Wicked for good on Letterboxd, gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was like, I wonder what I gave Wicked. I don't really remember. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I gave the exact same, where I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense in my head, because to me they feel, which they are, they feel like the same thing. Like it just felt like, again, it is a continuation of it. That's why is they both just felt exactly the same to me, and I walked out feeling the exact way I did, where I'm like, oh, that was really good. I had a lot of fun. I really liked it. But I do think, yeah, second half the music is good. I have the problem with the wizard thing. Other than that, though, I don't really have any other problems. And the same way I felt with the first one, I was like, yeah, it was a little long, but I really liked it. You know, it literally felt exactly the same to me.
I felt unlimited. I just had to say that. I had to do it. I just felt it. I don't care. I can't sing. Y'all know that.
We should do a musical. Let's film a film musical, and we'll see who's the most talented.
Subscribe.
Tyler can write and direct it, and then me and you can be the lead singers.
Bro,
we'd kill it.
Would I be the lead, or would we be like co-leads?
I think co-leads. I think co-leads works. I mean, I'm cool with taking a backseat. I'm definitely more of like I can be a strong side character.
So
for sure.
Can I be Elphaba and you be Galinda?
I think.
Because I really want to be Elphaba.
I think it.
That's my homegirl.
I think I'm not allowed
saying.
to be Elphaba.
Why are you not allowed to be Elphaba?
Because I'm gonna back away. I'm gonna back away from this conversation. We're gonna slowly back away. I'm more of a Galinda than I think an Elphaba.
Okay. Why would you characterize yourself as more of a Galinda?
I just don't think I can pull off green.
Anybody can be green.
I just don't think I could be Elphaba. I don't know. I'm just not Elphaba at all.
I don't know if I can reach her notes.
Maybe not.
Those notes are crazy,
dude, she's
bro.
so talented. I don't think so.
When she was walking and singing, like even in the first movie, when she was doing that first song where she was going out and wondering about the world beyond Oz and even just Oz in general, I was like, how are you moving this much while singing?
Oh, here's one thing I'll say before we close. You know how the conversation was like, we want Cynthia Erivo to play Storm? I don't want that. I've like settled on it. Yeah, I don't want her to play it. I just don't think like she fits it actually at all.
I
think people
I'm agreeing, but at the same time, I can't think of anybody else right now who could probably play Storm.
But I think that's the exact thing where it's like, oh yeah, like because she's a prominent black female actress, we're like, yeah, she should play the black female in the X-Men. And I'm like, there's probably other people that could probably fit the role better and I think would give it the love that it deserves. Right? I don't think she would give it the love it deserves.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious about it. Like I want to see who can be a person that could be over her, but I feel like she still would do a pretty good job.
You know who should get a second go around? Alexandra Shipp. she should get a second go around. She was Storm in X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh,
I don't think she was properly used, and that's unfair to her because she is a phenomenal actress, and she is not in a lot of things. She is in Tick Tick Boom, and she's so good in that movie.
She's very good in Tick Tick Boom.
And then I haven't seen her in a whole lot of things, but I see her name pop up every once in a while. I'm like, why doesn't she get more roles? And I'm like, yeah, why doesn't she? She's so talented.
There's like a lot of actors who don't get a lot of
and
good
that's
roles
what I'm saying is we should cast someone maybe that's not super prominent as Storm, you know, because can Cynthia Erivo act? Yeah, probably. She could probably act fine. But do I think she can play Storm? Probably okay. She could probably do it.
I mean, she already put in her audition tape, bro. You saw her flying. Like, who else can fly like that?
Bro, anyone can fly like that.
She was defying gravity,
Connect
bro.
me to a wire, bro, and I'll defy gravity.
Bro, you can't defy gravity like Cynthia Erivo, bro.
I don't know, bro. I think I can.
She transcended the theater.
I don't know.
You can't imagine her doing that.
Maybe I will play Alpha, but I think I can do it. I think I can defy
Here
gravity.
we go. All right, I'll be Fiera.
You'll be good. I know you're gonna do. All right. Well, anyways. Did I just get rizzed up on the podcast? That was crazy. Phil, anything else you want to say on Wicked for Good?
I really enjoyed that movie, and guys.
But it wasn't Wicked for Great. I really wanted to say that.